looking at a little firmer market here. Wheat is the leader here today.
Yeah, it sure is. I think we're putting in a couple different premiums into this market. One, our harvest pace is dreadfully way behind schedule. We're at the lowest or slowest pace in 10 years in a lot of states. Illinois, Indiana, that pace is dreadfully slow. Here in Kansas, we're way behind normal pace as well. Our 5-year average should be about 15% done in Kansas. It's only 3% done this week. I think that pace is going to quicken up here in the next several weeks as temperatures are going to warm considerably, which is exactly what is needed. Wheat's a little bit behind, so it may take an extra week or so to ripen up and really turn mature, but that 90-plus degree temperatures is going to help out considerably, and I think we'll see combines really starting to roll in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But that harvest delay is giving us some premium, plus that uncertainty in the Middle East. If they're going to close some shipping lanes or bomb some ports, there's so much uncertainty that wheat market's trying to put in a premium because maybe some of this wheat is not going to be able to be shipped out of the Middle Eastern countries into the world to meet that demand, and the U.S. is hoping to take some of that export business. Our new crop sales space has been red hot so far this marketing year. We're just getting started into that new marketing year, but we're at a 12-year high for our wheat exports.
Sure. Livestock side, what's going on there?
Well, livestock is trying to recover after yesterday's meltdown. We're keeping one eye on what happens with crude oil, I think, and as crude oil backs off, stock market seems to rally, cattle market seems to rally, and if vice versa happens, if we see crude oil rally substantially, like we saw yesterday, the cattle market's going to find some pressure, and a lot of that's due to inflationary type concerns. We have concerns that higher energy prices leads to higher gas prices, leads to more inflation, and with higher inflation costs, the consumer demand for product is expected to back off. So there's a real concern that where will the consumers start to back away from high-priced beef? They really haven't shown signs of it yet, but we're getting through the Father's Day holiday. We're getting into the 4th of July. Once we get past the 4th of July, demand usually starts to slow down just a little bit. And if we have high gas prices at the same time, high inflation, the buying could really slow down considerably, and that would really hurt this cattle market that's been on fire.
Sure. How about the lean hog side?
Well, the seasonals for hogs are starting to turn lower. I'm really surprised we've seen as much strength as we've had in this hog market. I never thought we'd be over 110, even 105 in some of those summer month hog contracts, but here we are at 111 plus for July and August hogs. Cutouts have been strong, cash markets have been strong, but really the surprising thing I think has been the strong exports we've seen. Even with tariffs in place against China, they've still been buyers of U.S. pork, which really shows us that they're really dependent upon U.S. pork products.
Anything else we should be aware of?
Well, I think the weather looks really good for corn and soybean development. A lot of areas that need some rain have gotten some and look like even more will get rain next week. We're probably going to go into the end of the month, the first part of July, with very good growing conditions and very high crop ratings. Still, there's time for a weather-type induced rally, but we're starting to close that window on weather concerns. The soybean market, new crop beans have had a rally. They've put in a lot of premium because of that delay in the winter wheat crop. That harvesting, when we're double cropping soybeans and we harvest a little bit later, that pushes the planting date for soybeans, and I think the market is trying to put in a premium to incentivize that farmer to go ahead and plant those beans, even if it's going to be 2-3 weeks later than normal.
Okay, good. All right, good stuff there, Brian. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it a lot.